Hello, everybody. I'm Laura Bowden.
And I'm Charlie Fitzpatrick, and this is the T3G Institute 2016 Orientation Webinar. Thank you for joining us and joining in absentia our staff, Catherine Karanen, Lynn Malone, Anita Palmer, Roger Palmer, Amy Work, and Joseph Kursky. Together, we're going to be the staff for this year's T3G Institute at Esri. We've got a variety of things to go over today. We'll go over them pretty quickly. And lodging and transportation, social media and online community, hardware, lightning talks, and preparing. So, Laura, can you head us out with the lodging?
Sure, Charlie. So let's talk about our hotel where you're going to be staying. Everyone, all the participants this year will be staying in the Ayers Hotel. That is, if you're going to be lodging with us. Some of you are local folks and this part doesn't apply to you. But the Ayers Hotel is a very nice hotel. It's about 10 minutes walk from Esri campus, fairly flat. I think that you will enjoy staying there. It's nice. It has a nice pool. Anyway, we are pretty full up this year, though, with our blocked rooms. So the way this will work, I know some of you had questions about this. On your registration, you indicated whether you wanted a single room or a double room to share with another person. So we have all that information that you provided to us, and we will submit it to the hotel sometime next month, and we will be sending you an email with the confirmation number for your hotel room for the 6 nights of the Sunday of T3G through the Friday night of T3G. So we will make that reservation for you and send you the confirmation number along with your roommate information if you are sharing a room. And we're planning to send you that information in mid-June. So don't worry, we have it ready for you. And if you're staying in a single room and you'll be paying for 3 nights yourself, we're still going to make the reservation. Now, if you need additional nights beyond those 6 nights, either before or after the event, for example, if you fly in on Saturday, you'll need someplace to stay Saturday night, then you need to contact the Ayers directly to make those reservations for the extra nights. But do let them know that you're going to be part of the T3G Institute. And it would be great if you could also send us an email just letting us know that you've made that reservation so that we can help coordinate that with the hotel and make sure that everything's lined up. If your room isn't needed on Friday night, for example, if you're leaving early Friday evening instead of Saturday morning, let us know that as well, just so that we can not make the reservation for Friday night if necessary. There's a lot more information that you can find about your hotel on the Ayers website, as well as on our T3G event website, which is, as most of you know by now, esri.com/events/T3G-institute. And you'll need to have that web address in order to find this page because it's not linked from any other place on esri.com. If you have any registration information changes to make, see the FAQ tab on that website and it'll explain what to do. So the picture here of this lovely young woman is Melissa Arpa, who some of you know because she has been responding to some of the emails that are sent to our T3G email alias. So Melissa and I get those emails that come to us, and if necessary, we can communicate with other members of the team to get your questions answered and help you out. What's the next slide, Charlie?
Transportation.
All right. So some of you have had questions about airports and where's the best place to fly into. So again, there is some basic information on the website, but just so you know, the globe on this map is where Esri is. It's in a region of Southern California known as the Inland Empire, so you'll hear that term sometimes. We're near the city of San Bernardino and Riverside, if you know where those are. The Ontario International Airport is about 20 minutes away on sort of a direct line on the Interstate 10 from Ontario International. So it's very convenient. It's a fairly sizable airport. I think they've been adding some more flights back in lately, so hopefully you'll be able to find a good flight. Other options are LAX. With LAX, you may be more likely to find a nonstop flight or international flight into there. It's about 100 miles away, so travel time is a little longer, and it can be variable depending on what the traffic is. It can take anywhere from, say, an hour and a half if you're really lucky to three and a half hours if you're really unlucky. So you just need to account for that. Because you'll be traveling on the weekends most likely, it shouldn't be too bad traffic-wise, but you never know. All it takes is one accident and that can get you messed up. Another airport that can be convenient is the John Wayne Airport, otherwise known as Santa Ana, where it says SNA on the map. That's a little further away in Orange County. It's another mid-sized airport, but sometimes you can find maybe a better price or a better flight schedule than to Ontario, so sometimes that's convenient. San Diego, to the south, is about 2 hours away, and Palm Springs is about 45 minutes away towards the east of us. So those are all possibilities. I know some of you will probably be trying to combine your trip to T3G with a visit to friends or relatives, and so those give you some different options to getting into the area. Next slide.
Ride sharing.
Ah, yes, ride sharing. So for those of you who are flying into the area, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about how getting from the airport to the hotel. The Ayers Hotel does not provide a shuttle service. So you may want to take a shuttle such as Super Shuttle, which is one that we have a discount code for, particularly if you plan to walk back and forth from the hotel to the campus. That's a convenient thing to do because then, you know, you can just be car free for a whole week. Wow. Or if you like to explore the area in your off time, you might prefer to rent a car. One thing to note is that there's a small Hertz rental office a short walk from the hotel. So if you do want to rent a car for only part of the week or something and then, you know, either return it or pick it up at that little office, you might be able to arrange that. We do have also some discount codes through Esri for some of the car rentals. So the link on this rideshare information page on the website underneath the travel tab does have a link in there for getting to some of these discount codes. Now, we've created a self-service spreadsheet for you to coordinate ride sharing or shuttle sharing if you want to. Totally optional. Sometimes you can get a little bit better deal on the shuttle if you make a reservation with some other folks and you travel in a group, or you just might want to be sociable and find out, you know, who's going to the same place and arriving at the same time you are. There's a form. That first circle there in step 1 takes you to a form that you can fill out with your arrival information, and then the other link there under step 3 takes you to the spreadsheet where that form information gets deposited in Google Docs. If you want, you can just go straight to the spreadsheet and enter your information that way, but the form's a little bit easier for just getting the information in. Later, if you need to change something, then you go in there to the spreadsheet and take a look at what other people have put in there, make notes, use that in relation to the roster that we've given you, and you can call folks and use that spreadsheet however you want to make your arrangements. And while we're on the topic of the website, I just wanted to point out a couple of links that you may have some difficulty finding. At the top there, if you go to the schedule page, there's a more comprehensive one-page schedule of our week. And what's not obvious is that thing that says view the detailed schedule. It looks like a heading. which it is, but it's also a link. So if you click that, it will take you to the PDF. Most of you may already have that PDF in an email that I sent out at one time, but if you need to look at it again, it's there. And then secondly, the roster that I mentioned that includes everyone who is willing to share their contact information is posted there for you. And to get to it, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom of a page. Any of the pages will be fine, but there's a quick links and resources section at the very bottom of the page, and that's where you'll find the link to the roster. We will update the roster 2 or 3 more times between now and T3G. A little gentle reminder, if you haven't sent me your picture yet and you want your photo to be showing up in the roster, then please go ahead and email us your photo.
And boy, we really depend on those photos. Some of us who are name and face challenged, it's really helpful to get a jump start on that. So I'm going to take over at this point and talk about some social media. Some of you who are Twitter fans might start seeing or want to send out some tweets about excited to be heading to Esri T3G. That actually typically doesn't happen until shortly before the event itself. But if you wanted to do that, there's the hashtag. It's just Esri T3G. Something that we do want to encourage everybody to engage in is GeoNet. You have already taken a course online in order to apply for T3G, so you have at least one way that you could be logging into GeoNet. You may have several. One email address may have multiple logins and ArcGIS Online accesses, so it's a little bit of a challenge. We want to make sure that people get to T3G and already are able to log into GeoNet, because we're going to be doing an activity or two within there, and it's a good place. That's where you find tech support and guidance about using GIS in different ways. So GeoNet is the great online community right now. It's just a little bit challenging to make sure that you know how you're logging in. However you can log in, that's terrific. And now let's move over to the hardware side of things. Remember that when we had the application form, we indicated that you needed to be showing up with a laptop and a mobile device. We'll get to that in a second, but a laptop it's really important to make sure that these are updated system files. You don't want to be showing up with something that you haven't updated in a couple of years. We rely on safety and security, and it's really important to make sure that you've tested the Wi-Fi, everything is working. And it doesn't matter to us if it's Windows or Mac or a Chromebook. All three of those will be just fine. Do make sure that you have a power cord, obviously, because you're going to be using it all the time. And one of the pieces that we always have a little issue with is when folks show up and they don't have admin privileges or they forget how to log on. Make sure that you know how to do that and can do that really easily. There is a recommendation that we have for you. Make sure that you have an Ethernet dongle or a Ethernet port on your laptop. It's handy. We're in a big auditorium. There's going to be 100 or more of us in there, and all of the chairs have an Ethernet port in them, and we've got cables and things like that. So it's faster if you can hardwire into your device, and when you take it to other rooms, depending on where our schedule takes us, you can go Wi-Fi that way. So that Ethernet port is really important and useful. Some of you on some of the newer laptops or Macintosh laptops need to make sure that you have a little dongle that will accomplish that. If you want to bring a mouse, if you want to bring a cable lock or a flash drive, you can do that. You don't need any of those. Those are up to you to decide if you want to include them. In terms of software, we want to make sure that you have your antivirus engaged and up to date. We recommend for people that you have both Chrome, Google Chrome, and Firefox installed. If you're on Windows, you can also obviously have Internet Explorer, or on Mac, you can also have Safari. It's important to have a couple of different browsers engaged, and they should all be as up-to-date as possible and as clean as possible. You don't want to have 14 different toolbars in there. Sometimes we go in and try to help somebody, and you can't barely find the open space because of all of the toolbars that they have. So make sure that it's nice and clean. You will want to have some kind of Office suite or word processor, spreadsheet, presentation tool, just because you'll be using those devices to do a variety of things through the week. Same thing with a graphics tool or a zipping and unzipping capacity. Those things tend to be built in on current computers, so they're not as big a deal as they used to be. An Acrobat Reader you'll want to make sure that you can get access to. And if you have ArcGIS Online logins that you used, those are always handy to be able to check in on some of your work or personal content that you might have in there. Now, we also want to make sure that you have a mobile device. These are useful, but they're not sufficient by themselves. So people have asked, can I do this on my iPad? No, you can't do it just on an iPad. There are important things that we want to make sure that you have a regular laptop for. But we want to make sure that you get to do some practice with a mobile device. So a smartphone or a tablet, or both if you have both, either Android or iOS. If you got a Windows phone, great, that will work out just fine as well. Once again, make sure they're up to date. You've got a charger for it. And if you're coming in from outside the U.S., that you've got a U.S.-based data plan, or that you know that you're just going to be going on Wi-Fi alone. You'll want to make sure that you know how to access the App Store for your device, because some of you will need to say, oh, I just got to get that particular app for this activity that we're doing. And you want to have that process down cold. That you know how to work with your browsers and your various document tools on your device, and you've engaged the camera. You know how to find those pictures on there, how to access the GPS services on your mobile device, and if you have a GPS app on your mobile device, know how to work with those things. We are going to be using an online service called Box to store a number of documents, and there you can get a free Box account at box.com if you like, or you can just access it just with the links that we'll give you there. We will be working with several Esri apps, probably Explorer and Collector and Survey 123. There's a whole bunch of them that are out there that you'll be able to take advantage of. In terms of additional devices, the fun things but not required things, some people want to bring a regular camera and not just their phone. Some people like to have a personal handheld GPS. I'm always showing up with my little Garmin eTrex 10 because it's a nice thing, because there are a lot of people out there that have those. They are very common in education. And make sure that you've got an extension cord to fit all your chargers at night when you're at the hotel. So these hardware items, pay attention to them, because you don't want to arrive there and say, okay, great, now I need to update my files and make sure that somebody else has a charger that I can borrow. Arrive with everything in place. Then we're going to have on Tuesday a really fun thing that happens Tuesday evening. This is optional to attend and to present, but we have lightning talks. We've got a block of time. We can accept up to 15 lightning talks, and these lightning talks are just quick 5-minute talks where somebody says, oh, and I'm really severe on that 5-minute timing. But these are short talks that people get to introduce the whole T3G group to things that they're doing in their work that are really exciting, and it's a very fun thing to do. We're going to have a sign-up page that will open up Tuesday, July 5, and that will be attached to the T3G event website on the Prepare page. So starting Tuesday, you'll be able to get into that. Laura, can you take them through the rest of the preparation?
Sure. So other things that you want to make sure you know about are reading through some of the education community and ArcGIS Online blogs, getting familiar with our Connect Ed program offerings, some of the resources that are on that page, and these links are all available here on our website. So you can start looking through some of your skills for students and educators with ArcGIS Online. If the last thing you've done with ArcGIS Online was take the course when you filled out the application in November, then you're going to want to at least spend a few minutes just refreshing what ArcGIS Online is all about before you arrive. And finally, you can get to know your state's Geography Alliance. Some of you are actually members and representatives of your geographic alliances, but for those of you who aren't and aren't familiar with it, you can click on that link and get some information. A lot of times the alliances have good websites for your state with a lot of resources on there.
Excellent.
And now
so
finally,
what do they wear?
Yes, what to wear? This is always a question that people have. This year, our T3G Institute is going to be in July, which is the hot part of the year here in Redlands. But while you're on campus, we want you to please wear business casual clothing. You know, it is a business. A lot of times there's VIPs around and employees and so forth. We're expected to wear business casual, and we would like our visitors to be doing that as well. So no shorts, tank tops, flip-flops, open back shirts or dresses, things like that, while you're here on campus. But it is hot, and you know, we are fairly casual here, and so you can wear capri slacks or sneakers or t-shirts as usual. With many businesses, graphic design t-shirts need to be tasteful. GIS t-shirts are always a hit, especially if they're Esri GIS t-shirts. You know, a short-sleeved button-down shirt like a Hawaiian shirt or something is fine. Jeans are fine. Also, you should bring layers. We will be in our auditorium, which is air-conditioned, and at times when you're sitting there for a while, it can get chilly. So bring a layer. You're going to want to bring a bathing suit if you want to swim at the hotel. Hat and sunscreen are always advisable, especially if you want to walk around in the evenings and so forth. Sometimes people have questions for me about, you know, how can they get exercise in the area and things like that. There are a few tips and hints on the website, I believe, for things to do either before or after T3G. In terms of evening activities that will be going on, we try to keep you pretty busy. Monday night generally is an evening that people like to just catch up on their jet lag and get to know one another. Because everyone's in the same hotel, you'll be able to socialize in the lobby and the pool area, get to know each other. Tuesday night, as Charlie mentioned earlier, we have the lightning talks, and we will be having a pizza dinner in between our main daytime activity and the evening event, which is totally optional, but it's a lot of fun, and we like to provide some pizza for you so that you know you don't have to go too far afield to get something to eat in between. Wednesday night is usually on your own, and it's a good time again to socialize or to see some things in the area. Thursday night we have Redlands Market Night that takes place downtown. It's like a farmers market and craft market that happens on our main street. The downtown area is about a mile away from Esri and the hotel. And then Redlands itself has a lot of neat old homes and things like that to look at and drive around the area. It is summertime, so it will be getting dark later on in the evening, so you'll have some time to do a little sightseeing if you wish. In July, we also have on Tuesday nights and Friday nights in July. If it works out for you, there's usually an event at the Redlands Bowl that you can go to for free. It's an outdoor amphitheater that's right downtown. And then, of course, Friday night at the end of T3G, we finish off with a little social event and some food because we like to make sure that we send you off with a full tummy.
Outstanding.
Once again, answers to most questions that you have can be found on our website. Like I said, it's not linked from any other site, so you do need to have the URL handy. And if you have other questions or concerns, we're only an email away at t3g@esri.com, so don't hesitate to drop us a line if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you however we can. So on behalf of all the T3G Institute staff, we're really looking forward to spending an action-packed and inspiring week with you this summer. And we really can't wait to meet you and share all things GIS and education with you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in July.
Bye-bye.